go. Bluegill. That is what I'm looking to catch today. And I'm using Gulp Minnows to catch bluegill with. My bait tank needs a few more. Whoops. Of course, like always, jumps right out of my hand. It's a little guy, but I will take him. Now I'm going to need to get water in here. And there is absolutely no water in there. All right, let that fill up for a little bit. See if I can catch another one. There we go. Another one. Good flathead bait. Now, Gulp Minnows are really, really easy to use. And I will give a shout out to my buddy Clint. I'm using his technique here, which seems to work really good. All you have to do is cast it out and let it drop. You don't reel it in like a bass lure or anything like that. You just let it drop, let them eat it. I am adding a slow reel too, so I can keep the line tight. But yeah, I can see it bouncing right off the line, or at least bouncing because the little ones are hitting it. And if they're big enough to eat it, they get hooked. You see there's a tree in the water here. Throw it out right next to it, let it drop. Boom, fish. I didn't even reel that in. Nice one, even bigger. That is a good piece of bait. Maybe I'll use this as the thumbnail. I've actually only got a few of these minnows left. I'll probably buy some more when I get off the water. Okay. Put them in a live well. I'm really hoping they do survive the trip back to my house. There's no aerator in there. And I don't know if I'm going to put one in there or not. I've been thinking about it, but I'm going to wait because I have some interesting future plans, as always. Oh, there was one on it. I missed it. I've done something similar before in the past while crappie fishing in a kayak. With the exception was I would cast it out, let it drop, and then I would reel it like really slowly. And whenever I was reeling slowly, I was catching crappie after crappie after crappie. Of course, it looks like the bluegill, they don't want to hit it like that. Well, maybe they do. There we go. Well, I was reeling it in like my crappie fishing and caught one. So I guess that's technique number 2 for Gulp Minnows. I'm going to be loaded up on bluegill. I really do hope they survive. And I'm just moving one down tree to the next. I could probably turn around and come right back through here and still catch them. There's plenty of them down there. Or even connect to one of the trees and just fish it out. But I really don't want to do that. I just stay moving. Oh, that was pretty far out. That was like right there instead of towards the bank where that one bit. I've had these Gulp Minnows for a very long time. probably as long as I've had my Team Catfish fiber nugget bait. And they've been out in the heat and the cold and the heat and the cold. And as you can see, they're still working. That little bitty jar has kept them good this long. You could say this is like bass fishing because I'm continuing to move and I'm tossing at the bank. But bass are not my target species. Little bitty minnows attacking it. It'd be better to have the foot pedal on this. So one of the downsides of the Altera, I've got to use the remote or keep the foot pedal on the boat, and I don't have the foot pedal on the boat. But I don't fish like this too terribly often. If I'm skipjack fishing, I just put it on the north mode and just let it go while I cast and cast and cast for skipjacks. Here requires a little bit more precision. Like I said, kind of like bass fishing. Speaking of a bass, I see one. If I could only cast. A little bitty bass. He's not going to go after that. Oh, maybe he will. And I think I spooked him. Pond scum on a lake. Little bitty ones. Where are the big ones at? Something down there. Looks like a boat might have hit the end of this tree. It's like weirdly broke. Might be minnows. One more try. There we go. Huh. Bigger one? Oh, nice one. Look at that. Now that is a good bluegill. Very nice. That's what I'm looking for here. The bigger ones. I've caught big flatheads off a small bluegill before. But man, look at that. Good sized bluegill right there. Whoa! Angry fish. And I was thinking I'd have to go back to those trees over there. The bigger ones are back here, that'd be nice. There we go. Smaller one. Hey! I take him. Good amount of bluegills today. And the fun of having very light line. Get tangled in yourself pretty easily. There we go, untangled. I think this is 4-pound line. I've had it for quite a while. It's probably time for me to put new line on this reel. Must have been a bass jumping out there. Or algae, lettuce, whatever you want to call it. Big log underwater here. You can only see like part of it, but it is a pretty big tree right here. Ah, hung up. And broke my line. Thankfully, I got a little trout magnet kit that has a bunch of jig heads in it. I could probably use these things too, but I'm using the Gulp Minnows instead. I may put a comment below with an Amazon associate link to both this and the Gulp Minnows. You can also buy these at Big Fish Outfitters, which is a local shop, if you're local to me. And I would highly recommend doing that. However, if you're not local to me and you want to help my channel out, then buy it through the Amazon associate link. I might get a commission if you do so, or if you buy anything through it. I don't talk about my Amazon associate account too terribly much. And the dogs might make me want to edit that out of the video just to show you guys me catching fish instead of talking about an Amazon associate account while dogs are barking. There's what the jig head looks like without a Gulp Minnow on it. I'm just using a fisherman's knot or a cinch knot. This line is so tiny it's hard for me to even see to put it on the eye. So if you want to look up that knot, there's plenty of other channels that have that knot. It's just really hard to see with 4-pound line. There's the Gulp Minnow. And here's what it looks like on the hook. My fingers smell like Gulp Minnow right now. Minnow jumped right out of the water. Uh-oh. No! Whoa! Squirrel fishing. Oh, that's a bass. Little bitty bass looked at it. Does it not look like a minnow to you, buddy? Oh! That time it did. Looks like there might be more than one. Come on, trying to catch a bass. Ah! I think I spooked him. Try one more time. There we go. And I get a bluegill. And he swallowed it. He choked it. Buddy, I guess you're not going to go home with me. I think he's hooked a little bit too deep. Let that one go. Give him a chance to recover or become flathead food. I'm surrounded by a ton of shad right now. I think I just saw a gar. Telephone. Hello. Yep, catching bluegill. Alright, I'll see ya. Bye. Well, on that note, I'm probably going to try to catch one more fish and then call it. Now, I have a secondary objective while on the boat. I borrowed my buddy Clint's head unit for his Garmin. Let me show you. This is my head unit. The EchoMap UHD 93SV. They're both the exact same thing, except for this one keeps not seeing the transducer. And I'm trying to see if it's either the unit or the transducer. And so far, Clint's unit is working fine. I'm going to test it a couple of times before I pull out of the water, but looks like I'm going to have to send this back to Garmin to get them to fix it. It's not the first time I've had fish finder problems. I've had problems with hummingbirds too. And hummingbirds fixed it pretty quick. I guess I get to see if Garmin will fix this one quick too. There we go. At least I can catch a nice bluegill. Who needs a fish finder when you can just toss it out there and catch a fish? And this guy choked it too. Man, they are swallowing these. I'm gonna have to let this guy go. Bluegill. All right, I think I am gonna go ahead and call it. That was a good day fishing. Let's see how many I caught here. 2, 4, 6. 6 bluegill to add to my tote. Very lively bluegill. I will empty this water out and then put fresh water back in it before I pull the boat out of the lake. But before I pull the boat out of the lake, like I said, I got a Garmin to test. Now, as always, I want to thank you guys for taking your time out of your day to watch my video. I really, really appreciate it. And do me a huge favor and hit that thumbs up, the like button, to show you like my video and to show YouTube that catching bluegill is as fun as catching 50-pound flatheads. In fact, sometimes you have to catch the bluegills to catch the 50-pound flatheads. I will definitely be hitting up my little Flathead Creek again, hopefully soon. All my truck issues are now resolved, and I may actually make a video about that sometime in the future, so stay tuned. Thanks again for watching. Hope to see you next time.